Alright, the Outsider 68. I should be working on the next episode of Emergent Play, but you posed a fantastic question, and I had to give you my thoughts. The thing is, I don't like to apply numbers to abstract concepts, so I'm just going to tell you which order I think they're in, and do my best to express how important I believe them to be. The first place goes to players. I've played games with no GM, I've never played games without a player. They seem to be more important than anything else. And let me give you a little bit of background here on my experience. For a while now, I've known a group of people in the city who are all interested in trying out different games. We're quite a large group, and not everybody can make it to every event. The result of this is that I have a rotating group of people, rotating GMs, and rotating systems. I've played a variety of different systems with a variety of different people under a variety of different GMs. So I really feel that this has given me a great example of what matters and what doesn't matter as I see which games do well and which games do not. Players have also always been kind of a motivating force here. If the players aren't on board, if they're not motivated, if they're not interested in the game, then it's going to tank. That's just how it is. I've never seen a game dragged along where it actually turned out well when the players didn't care what was going on or weren't engaged at all. And while one player may kind of poison the event a little bit, if none of the players are anyone I want to game with, then I'm out too. I'm sorry, I don't want to game with people I don't like. For me, system is next. If anybody doesn't agree that the system is very important to the game, they really need to try to read more systems and play more systems and see which ones really work for them. Also, those people probably have a lot of house rules. If the system didn't matter, you wouldn't be making house rules. Now, some people tend to marginalize the system. They believe that they can run any game in any system and simply put it upon the task of the GM to make everything work and to fit everything together. Those people, I don't think, fully understand what's going on at the table in terms of the dynamics between what they're doing and what they experience. There's a lot of emergent properties that are in games and a lot of things that happen through the system that we don't realize are making us do these things. But don't take my word for it. I simply have a challenge for you. If you think that the system doesn't matter, then I challenge you to take your most favorite generic system and use it to play Fiasco. And if it doesn't feel like you're playing Fiasco, then you know that the system really does matter because it has affected the feel of the game, the mood, and the result of what people put in and get out of the game. And the GM is last. Now, I realize that a lot of people viewing this probably are GMs more often than they are players, and consider that to be a very important role. However, and this is not going to be a popular view, I believe they're putting a little bit too much stock into what they put effort into, which is a natural phenomenon, but we still don't like to have it pointed out. So if the GM is so much more important than the players, why is there only one of them? I realize, yes, there is at least one game out there which I've heard of, whose name escapes me, that has two GMs. And okay, that's one example on the opposite direction. However, I could name very, very many GM-less games, and they function quite well without one. So I've said before in one of my own videos that the GM is really just another player. They're a very important player, but just another person interacting with the mechanics nonetheless. Okay, so that's done. I can move on, but not before throwing a question back at you, because fair's fair, right? Now, a lot of games limit the power of a new character. Why do we do this? And more importantly, should we be doing this? I look forward to your answer.